I know I've got, wait. I know where I got it. Wait a minute. Look, I don't even. Spam blocker for. Over here, I got one. Spam blocker program. There we go. Shopping.
I'm starting to feel stiff today now.
Today I ate a
Condom.
I ate the whole
Condom box.
Oh, these lying clowns never stop. These two keep lying and lying and lying.
Believe in the Bible, and from what I've heard, you're a Christian pastor. So, my first question to you is, how do you support heliocentrism biblically?
I've never said I support heliocentrism.
What do you support?
I have not looked into the heliocentrism versus geocentrism debate, so I don't have a position on it.
Oh, he did not look into the flat earth, globe earth debate. I remember some months ago, 5 to be precise, he debated these so-called flat earthers on several subjects.
Okay, cool. How fast do you think satellites are moving? Yeah, I'm arguing right now that satellites are real. I have not looked into the heliocentrism versus geocentrism debate. So here is the orbit of the ISS over a globe, and here's what it would have to be over a flat Earth. I have not looked into the heliocentrism versus geocentrism debate. And by the way, you might not be able to notice this, but the speed of the ISS on the flat Earth also has to change speed when it gets to the south. Here would be the flight paths on the Gleason map. I have not looked into the heliocentrism versus geocentrism debate. That's how the phases of the moon work on the globe model. I was curious, what is a full moon and what is a new moon on your model? I have not looked into the heliocentrism versus geocentrism debate. The majority of lunar eclipses, which are impossible on the flat Earth model, I have not looked into the heliocentrism versus geocentrism debate. And then it retrogrades right here back to the tip of South America.
The shadow.
The shadow, yes. Okay. This is the path of the shadow. Yeah, what I'm saying is I think the flat Earth community should spend a little bit more time mapping out the path of the solar eclipse on their map. I have not looked into the heliocentrism versus geocentrism debate. For example, Dave Weiss says that these rockets are fake and that they're inflatables. You guys say the rockets take off in Florida and then just land somewhere else and no one sees it. Everything was analogous to what you guys believe. I have not looked into the heliocentrism versus geocentrism debate, so I don't have a position on it.
So you don't know anything about the debate and the talking points. What a clown. Is he suffering from amnesia? 5 months ago, he know all about the talking points and participated in a heliocentric, geocentric debate.
Is this what you do to everybody that's on your show? You start asking them about their deceased friends? Like, I'm in shock right now.
We ask questions.
What an imbecile that awakes souls.
All right, because
you ask bizarre questions, and people warned me about coming on your show, and now I see why. I said the two competing models are globe and flat. You fit into flat.
Yeah, but we have a completely different model than the pressurized pizza dome that is being debunked by your model.
I think my pizza is ready now.
Pressurized pizza dome. Our model actually predicts it. All right, so the model actually
That's not an answer.
It is.
Okay, great.
All right, because
so I'm not accepting your model because you haven't given any evidence. So far, there's globe and flat, that's it.
Stereographic virtual reality explained, right? It's a video that's underneath an hour that actually explains the entire working map and model. Another model that's existed for the last 7 years that's accurate to 100th of a degree per second.
I bet it originated from the globe.
It has the sun rising from and setting into Earth, so they can't use it.
If you present evidence to me that we live in a virtual reality,
No,
I'll
that
consider
a
it.
third model exists.
If there's a third model with evidence, yes.
All right, it's on the screen. So our model predicts the exact azimuth and altitude of the sun at any location on Earth any day of the year.
The location, you say? Let's check out your map. Let's pretend we are on this virtual reality map. On this small island on the 54 latitude south, 3 degrees east. And we want to do some celestial navigation because, yeah, we are in the middle of the ocean. We want to know where we are. So we take an observation to the sun and measure the altitude. Oh, 54 latitude south is not here. I cannot see it. There is a whole piece of map missing. It's supposed to be 45th latitude south. So the dark blue map is the map you used and messed up. This was the original map. And we can see here the 45th latitude south. But you destroyed it. You just removed a big chunk of earth. And here, 60 latitude north. You just removed that part. You're just a bunch of clouds. So we're looking for the 54th latitude south. It must be somewhere here. So this is their map, and they changed it a little bit to fit their bullshit.
This stunningly detailed satellite image of the world, detailed land cover data depicted in an oblique Mercator projection. The parameters of this map projection have been carefully chosen so that the inevitable distortion that occurs is regulated to the oceans and to the least populated and least recognizable land masses. The result is a unique, visually interesting flat map of the world that exhibits nearly no distortion, even at the poles. This version of the map has been done in a stylish portrait.
It's the most accurate stereographic map of Earth.
So this piece is missing. I don't know where that piece is. Maybe those two butt pluggers can show us that. And a chunk of this is missing. They left out at least 10% of the earth. And then we move this part to the right. And this one to the left.
This was the most precise map or coordinate system that was ever created. It wasn't Jason and I that made it.
So if you give us your coordinates, we can tell you the exact elevation angles to the sun.
Hey, awake souls. How do you travel from anywhere on the map to the 54 latitude south on the 3rd longitude east? That should be here somewhere. At least.
With the most precision. This was the most precise map or coordinate system that was ever created. It wasn't Jason and I that made it.
And then if you are out there with some sort of theodolite or similar type tool recording the elevation and azimuth of the sun the entire time, we can test to see whether or not that matches our model. Now the thing is the heliocentric model doesn't have any sort of tool like that. So you guys are going to need to make something before December, but we want to know whether or not that data matches our model.
You have some land missing and some oceans missing, so we can cancel your map, I think. Piece of shit. Let's see what you have more.
Okay, so just so I understand, your model has one sun, correct?
Every person sees one sun only. Yeah, there's no person will ever see a second sun ever.
That was slick.
Yeah, very slick. He's strong on me. On multiple suns. But in his model, you have to have a ton of suns. Millions and billions and billions.
Billions and billions and billions and billions.
How many suns exist in your model?
Each person will only see one sun ever.
Okay, so how many people are in the world? Like 7 billion?
And billions 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 and billions.
So there's 7 billion suns in your model?
But there's 7 billion people, right?
So there's 7 billion suns.
How many mosquitoes are there?
So there is multiple suns, but each person observe only one. Now you're repeating me again. It's more like the local data say the suns are location based and being rendered to anyone. Location based. Because if 1,000 people on a football pitch looking at the sun, they all see the same thing. It's location based.
Multiple suns or Pac-Man. So the multiple sun guy is QNFEE. He's the one that was screaming multiple suns. And
on your map, which is a little bit hard to see, but it's kind of behind you there.
Mm-hmm.
So my next question for you is, if someone gets on a boat in the water on the right side of your model, what happens to them when they reach the edge?
Have you ever heard of the video game Asteroids?
No.
All right, so
people teleport?
No.
So when they go on a boat to the edge of your model, do they teleport to the other side?
Call it Asteroids. Call the map that we promote Asteroids.
We will destroy you.
Asteroids and
asteroids.
Asteroids.
And then asteroids, call it asteroids. Asteroids. Asteroids.
Asteroids. Asteroids.
Asteroids. We will destroy you.
Shut up.
It's really like the first major release of any video game, and it demonstrates how in a virtual world how a character that's moving in a line of direction can come out on the other side, moving in that same line of direction at the same velocity, all that same kind of stuff. It's actually a coordinate system that geolocates to you, and what you would be able to do is just move seamlessly throughout the world. Watch a video game called Asteroids. It was made in 1979 that demonstrates how this actually works.
Yeah, when someone goes to the top of your map, what happens? Where do they go when they get to the edge of your top of your rectangle map?
The poles are clearly identified. So
No, that doesn't answer my question. When they get to the top of your rectangle map, there's a huge top. When they get there, what happens to them?
you continue through the other side at the same direction, same velocity that you were traveling. It's actually a coordinate system that geolocates to you.
So you teleport to the bottom of your map.
You use the word teleport. Call it asteroids.
I already showed this a couple of times in my videos. how retarded this is, but I will do it again. So in this map, west is south in this map. North is to the North Pole, according to that idiot. So this must be south. And then this tiny boat pops up here. Oh shit. He's missing a piece of ocean. And some latitude and longitude. So according to the coordinate system, this is about 54 latitude north and 167 latitude west. And when you travel like 10 miles, you pop up on the other side on a non-existing location. But if it existed, he would pop up on the 15 degree west. This is 15 degree west. On about the 55 latitude south. So according to his coordinate system, we will travel a little bit to the west. And then pop up here. This is 55 south. And 15 longitude west. 15 west. About 55 latitude south.
Okay, so this is fascinating to me because Alaska is at the top of your map and Antarctica is at the bottom. So you're saying someone could be in Alaska and get to Antarctica almost instantaneously?
We've always stated that down the prime meridian actually offers a possible shortcut.
He was not talking about the prime meridian, you idiot. Can you listen, you piece of shit?
Okay, so do you know of anyone ever in human history that was in Alaska and was almost instantaneously in Antarctica?
We've actually, but the thing is you have to look at all the distances. This is an actual coordinate system that gives you, we can tell you the exact distances between any location on here, better than any other thing possible. So we'll measure the distances and I'll tell you how long the trip would take at what speed. We can calculate it all.
Show us how you can travel from anywhere on the map to this tiny island at South 54, East 3, or the 15 longitude west, 60 south, or to the opposite side, from anywhere on the map. Please draw some lines to these locations and tell us how big the distance is, piece of shit.
Well, let's just do Alaska going to the top of your map, teleporting back down to the bottom to Antarctica. That should happen almost instantaneously, correct?
We'll make a video about it showing the actual distances based on the latitude and longitude.
Yeah, let's measure it and then we can compare it. So here on the top of the map, we know the latitude and longitude location to about the 55 latitude south. That would be here. On the 15 longitude west. From here to here. And then we can calculate it. Oh, 18,236 kilometers. 11,331 statute miles. Or 9,847 nautical miles. So that means a tiny boat with a top speed of 40 knots an hour can travel 18,000 kilometers. In 10 minutes. I have enough of these two clowns. I can make this video like 3 hours, but I don't feel like doing that. Fucking liars. Get lost, pieces of shit.
Space Force.
The world's greatest spacefaring nation.
Spacefaring nation. New spacecraft.
Space Shuttle.
The exploration of space.
There's no place like space.
In this race for space.
In space.
And so will space.
In space.
Now look into space.
Space.
See space.
Space Force.
Of the coming age of space.
Space. Spaceship.
Space.
Spacefaring.
For space science.
Space industry. Space. Space.
Space.
Space Council.
Space can be explored in outer space.
Space.
In space.
The Space Force.
Spacecraft.
Space Council. Space Force.
Spacecraft Center.
The Space Force.
Spacecraft.
Space Force.
Space science.
Space Council.
Space effort itself. Space science and space.
Space policy.
For new space efforts. Space budget. Space budget. Space expenditures. Space expenditures.
Space Force. Space Force. Space Force.
Well, space is there.
The dish-shaped heat shield, designed to withstand re-entry heat.
For nearly 1,000 seconds, as the command module smashes into the atmosphere, it will be exposed to heat which can rise to over 5,000 degrees Fahrenheit.
They shield their eyes as they see a replica of their space capsule being subjected to 11,000 degrees of heat, such as it will encounter when it flashes back into the Earth's atmosphere.
3,000 degree heat.
2,500 degrees. High as 3,000 degrees Fahrenheit.
4,000 degrees Fahrenheit.
Still heat up to 7,000 degrees Fahrenheit.
2,400 degrees Fahrenheit.
The surface temperature of the ship reaches 10,000 degrees.
20,000 degrees for the Apollo vehicle.
Consists of several layers of laminated fiberglass resin.
I love space crap from the old box. Let's watch this bullshit.
And materials for re-entry to protect the astronauts and their spacecraft from this extreme heat. We talked first to Mr. William Brooks, head of the Entry Structures Branch here at Langley.
When the spacecraft re-enters the Earth's atmosphere, by a process of compression and friction, a hot layer of air is formed over the frontal part of the vehicle. The temperature of this air may be as high as 20,000 degrees for the Apollo vehicle.
Damn, that's hot. That must be hot like 3 blowing torches.
Well, how does 20,000 degrees compare with what we might find here?
This temperature is 3 to 4 times as high as the temperatures created by welding torches.
I think he interviewed this guy in a mental institution. Let's have a look in the Mercury heat shield test facility.
Also at McDonnell, heat shield hot release mechanism tests were conducted. Technicians checked the recording and control instrumentation equipment. Prior to testing, the release system was operated at room temperature. Then the clamp ring area was heated to re-entry temperatures for 15-minute periods.
Re-entry temperatures. Look at this. Hey, look at the paper. Is this heat-resistant space paper? What a crap.
While recording and instrumentation data were being observed, the lamps were turned off. The heat shield was allowed to cool to normal pre-impact temperature. And the release mechanism was actuated, permitting the shield to drop and extending the impact skirt.
So first we had this heat-resistant space paper, and now we have this space blanket that can withstand 20,000 degrees Fahrenheit. Or 5,000 degrees Fahrenheit.
You know, and billions 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 and China. I know China very well. China, China, China. China, China, China. China, China, China.
Northwest Wisconsin, where I'm from.
It's China to me. China. China, 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 China. You want to buy from China? That's great. Buy from China. Buy toys from China. China in particular. China. China. I have people that I know in China. 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 China, 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 China. I've been saying China, 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 China. Let me ask you about China. China. I go to China. China, 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 China. People from China, they love me. China, 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 China. In China, they say I don't like China. I love China. People think I don't like China. I love China. China. China is the new China, by the way. China. 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 I deal with China. 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 Big league China. So don't tell me about China. I know China. 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 Whether it's China, China. So if you went to China and you wanted to get a job in China, I don't knock China. How could I dislike China? The man from China. China. You have China. Carl, take China. 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 Billions and 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 billions. Billions. China, 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 China. China's over here. Look at what China's doing. They're learning from China. China, China, okay? Look at that. Isn't that nice? China, 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 China. And by the way, I love China. I mean, I love China. China, 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 China. And you know China, 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 China. Let's say China. China, 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 China. China, 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 China. You take China. 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 I love them. China, 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 China. I have to have my China. China, China, because China, 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 China. China, 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 China now, China, China.